This is a Singer 128 hand machine. I have recently acquired it. I've cleaned it up, but what I haven't done is I haven't tested the stitch. And when I test the stitch, I will very probably need to adjust the tension, because it hasn't been used for many years. When you check the tension on a sewing machine, it's important to use thread from the same reel of cotton, both for the top thread and the bobbin thread. So I have already wound a bobbin and loaded it into the shuttle. You'll see that I've already loaded the bobbin into the shuttle, and I have a miniature screwdriver which is from a tin of sewing machine attachments. This is exactly the right size for the screw in the shuttle, and that is for loosening or tightening the tension on the shuttle. Now, to test the tension on the shuttle, you dangle it by the thread. Give it a jolt, and if it readily drops, that means it's too loose. So I will tighten it, that's turning it clockwise, until it holds and only goes down a fraction when you jolt it, which is what it's just done. So I'm now happy with the tension in the shuttle. For the tension in the top thread, we need to check that the tension discs are thoroughly clean. Now, I haven't taken these tension discs off this machine yet to clean them, so I'm going to do it now. Unscrew this nut here. Take off this spring, and you can see there's a fair lot of muck on there that needs to be cleaned off. Take this piece off here. That's not the actual tension discs, it merely keeps it in place. And here are the two tension discs, and we'll see what sort of condition they're in. They were sticking together slightly, but they seem pretty clean, so I'm going to give them a quick clean up, and then I'm going to reassemble the tension discs. I have now cleaned the tension discs and put them back. The machine is now threaded, and the shuttle is in place underneath the machine. So we are now ready to test the stitch. When testing the tension, use double thickness cotton. And so that we can remember which is the top thread and which is the bobbin thread, I'm going to use a piece of brown laid over a piece of white, and I'll have the brown on top. Also, have the stitch length adjusted to an average length stitch. Probably just under 1/8 of an inch is about ideal. This machine is now about to make its first stitches for very many years, so let's see what happens. Now, I know that you can't see the stitch in detail. I'll also tell you that the cotton has come out quite oily because this machine has been oiled very recently, so that's to be expected. But you can see that it is stitched fairly well, and also that there is no puckering, so that's a very good sign. Now, I'll pull this thread here, the top thread, and see if there's any give. There isn't, it's locked firmly in place, it doesn't want to pull out. I'll test the bobbin thread, and I'll give that a pull. That has locked firmly in place, so I have to say that it's first time lucky on this one. If the top thread is too tight, then you loosen it here by turning it anti-clockwise. If, on the other hand, the top thread is too loose, we tighten it by turning this screw here clockwise. Another way of checking the tension is to do a few stitches and then make a right angle turn. Do a few more stitches and then another right angle turn. We'll do another one. And now we'll look at the stitch. When you sew round a right angle, if both the threads are at the correct tension, they will both take a nice clean cut right angle. If one of the threads is too tight, it will pull tight as it goes round the corner, and it will pull in on the corner and it makes a slight curve. That's an easy way of spotting if one of the threads is too tight. I've tried to make what can be a very tricky problem as simple as possible. Firstly, check your shuttle. If the shuttle is right, you need never touch it again. Then you can do all your tension adjustment at the top. At the top, a good rule is that if you have this nut here in such a position that you can only see the very beginning of the thread on this screw here, then that is the best position to start, and you might find you can get it right first time. Don't have it so tight that you can see several lines of the thread there. If you want to look at illustrations of the stitch so you can understand what is going on when you adjust the tension, manuals for old Singer machines can be obtained downloaded from the Singer website. However, I'm going to leave you with two very rough diagrams of my own which sums up what it's all about.